I mean, Albert Einstein said it best. If we knew what it was we were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it?
Yeah.
So patients step into a research trial, and we honestly say, this is what we think, this is what we hope, this is what we want, but we don't know. And they say, I'm in.
Wow, that's scary. But you have to come from a desperate place, essentially, to say I'm in. Because the pain is so great that you're like, anything that could potentially help this is worth the risk.
And some people who are arguably not, quote unquote, suffering that much, they step in because they want to help other people.
Wow, man, that's powerful. What would you say is the biggest personal challenge you're faced with at this season of life?
I think we're entering an era of anti-science, which is going to be a challenge. The idea somehow that you can do science quickly and for free is on the rise. There's an idea of cutting this and cutting that because we've solved all the problems. I just think you can look back for a minute at the 1920s. The world was coming out of a pandemic that killed tens of millions of people.
Really? Wow.
Tens of millions. Look at the numbers versus the last pandemic. It's orders of magnitude more deaths worldwide. We were on the heels of a massive disinformation campaign in the media because during World War I, news of the pandemic was suppressed by the countries that were fighting in the war because they didn't want the enemy to know that their young, healthy men were dying and cutting into troop supplies. They didn't want the troop numbers known. There was a rise in the United States of eugenics and the sterilization of tens of thousands of women and some children, mostly because of either low IQ, poverty, or the color of their skin, disproportionately women. This was sanctioned by the Supreme Court. And this all culminated in a trial which became known as the Scopes monkey trial, in which a teacher in Tennessee was arrested for teaching evolution. The judge at that trial testified that scientists could not testify because it wasn't a scientific question.
Interesting.
Dozens of other states adopted those laws banning the teaching of evolution in school. This lasted for 10 years. This anti-science, anti-intellectual period lasted for 10 years on the heels of the pandemic. What brought us out of it? And why am I realistically optimistic that we'll come out? 1932, the discovery of sulfanilamide, the first antibiotic that was widely available, was given to Winston Churchill, who was critically ill, perhaps dying of pneumonia. He survived, obviously, and led Great Britain through World War II. Soon after that, penicillin. Blood banking came on board in the 1930s. And during the Coconut Grove fire, a disaster in Boston, the availability of a blood bank saved dozens of lives. This spawned the regionalization of blood banks eventually worldwide. That enabled transplant surgery. So why did we come out of it? Because everybody is going to need a new cure someday. Everybody. You know, the person who's healthy has 10,000 problems. And the person who's sick has one problem. You have a politician's son or daughter or spouse or grandparent or best friend gets a critical illness and we don't have a therapy, all of a sudden science and research are going to look pretty darn important again.
Yeah.
We're in a cultural period now where all the forces seem to be aligned against that. There's a major pushback against doing science that takes years to make the cures that we're using today. Never mind the ones that we're going to use in a couple of years. The cures we're using today were invented 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. We take them for granted.
Yeah.
We're going to have diseases that continue to injure and disable and kill people. And at some point, the pendulum will swim back. And when that happens, hopefully the United States and the global medical science research infrastructure will have survived this period and come out even stronger.
Yeah, that's powerful. As a neurosurgeon who's done over 1,000 brain and spinal surgeries, what is the number one skill you wish every human being could learn to master to help them improve the quality of their life?
I think be in the present and listen to the person you're talking to. The person you're talking to will always tell you how you can help them if you listen carefully enough.
You think a lot of people are not living in the present?
I think most people are not living in the present. Do you?
I think they're living in stress or overwhelm or like.
But that's not the present.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I know. They're like living in like some type of fight or flight or stress or
They're
like
living in either
thinking about the future, what they need to do.
or remembering some terrible thing from the past. That's not the
Exactly.
present.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, it's not easy. You know, I don't think you can go on a website and get a quick fix. I think it requires, once again, a commitment to a personal philosophy to decide what it is you want to do and why you want to do it, and pursue that.
Are you someone that practices meditation or prayer or what are some of the therapies that you practice that are non-surgical or non-medical related, I guess?
I try
to support you staying in the present.
I think the advice that grandma gave you, and hopefully your primary care physician, you know, eat a balanced diet, get enough rest, exercise regularly, be engaged in your family, community, friend groups, have a hobby, read. These are all critical things, I think, to having balance, homeostasis in your life. I mean, if the vagus nerve is anything, it's a symbol of homeostasis and balance. In addition, I think you can supplement those things with meditation. I do try to meditate every day, once or twice, just 5 or 10 minutes. I do mindfulness meditation or breathing meditation. I try to take a cold immersion several times a week, not because it's relaxing, but because it's a massive stimulus to fight or flight, which is anti-inflammatory. I mean, when you fall in the cold water or switch the shower to full cold and you feel that I gotta get out of here and this hurts and I don't want to do this, that's fight or flight.
And that's a good thing.
High levels of fight or flight, as long as your doctor says you don't have a heart condition,
Yes.
high levels of fight or flight are anti-inflammatory. And then I'm fascinated by the process, because if you stay there, you've done this.
Of course. I did it yesterday. Yeah. It's cold.
What happens? It's like everything slows down.
Yeah.
And you feel almost like you're watching somebody else do it. It still hurts, right?
Painful.
It is. It doesn't stop being painful. But it's a weird place watching. That's parasympathetic. That's vagus nerve. That's when your heart rate slows down. That's anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.